So this video picks up with us leaving Las Vegas. We were due to be flying to San Francisco to pick up the BA first class flight from there, but due to a whole load of flight cancellations and shenanigans with British Airways, which I won't go into now, but you can see that on the pop-up banner above now, we actually managed to switch the flight to fly from Los Angeles back to London Heathrow. So we're just picking up the short sort of 45-minute hour flight back to LA. I thought I'd leave it in just because of the great views of the strip. And then just before we get on to the LA part, just want to say a quick shout out to Southwest Airlines actually. A budget carrier in the US, but they were really good for us, really no nonsense. The app was easy to switch to flights, no financial charges. In fact, we even got a refund because the flight was slightly cheaper. It's a no-frills airline, but you get what you pay for, and in truth, it was a fairly decent experience. We use it because it includes luggage as well as the seat, so it won't be the cheapest when you look at it straight off the bat, but certainly overall costs it's very much up there. And again, for a short 45-minute flight, you can just see the contrast in some of the scenery there, from arid desert to snow-covered mountaintops. But before we knew it, the flight was over. It was only, like I say, 45 minutes, so really bearable. We actually had a night in LA, which I won't go into now, and then we pick up at LAX Airport the next morning. If you are travelling there, I would allow quite a bit of time. Traffic was quite bad, to be perfectly honest. We had about a what should have been 15-minute journey, but actually took nearer 35-40 minutes just due to the heavy traffic. It's my first time flying out of LA as an adult, so I was quite keen to see what the airport was like. I'd heard some horror stories about LAX, and obviously you can just see the iconic structure there now. Beautiful day in LA, and actually I was really quite impressed with the airport in the end. Once we got there, traffic was a bit of a pain, but once we got there it was good. So this is the Tom Bradley International Airport. As you can see, loads of natural light, loads of airy spaces. Yes, it was busy, but LA is a massive international transit hub, so it's going to be busy. And we're just kind of working our way through to the British Airways check-in area. I had naively thought, simply because of the number of flights that BA operate out of LAX, that actually the check-in area would be like it was at Heathrow, where it was permanently open and you could check in at any one time. I think we must have picked up one of the first flights out in the morning going across the Atlantic, so the BA check-in wasn't actually open. So I think it opened at 3 o'clock and our flight was at 20 past 5, something along those lines. So just a word of warning, if you are on one of those earlier flights, it might just be worth seeing what time the check-in's actually open, so that you can make sure you tail your journey appropriately. But once it was open, I think we waited 5-10 minutes. Once it was open, check-in was slick. Security actually surprisingly really slick. We have got TSA pre-approved, which took quite a long time off the journey. And airside, the terminal itself is continues the theme, really airy, really quite a nice terminal actually. Not great views onto the tarmac. We worked our way up to the first floor if you're UK, second floor if you're American, and went to the One World Alliance lounge. Unfortunately, the Qantas lounges were closed at the time, so this was the one we went into. With that said, the lounge was a very pleasant surprise for us. Turned out to be a really huge lounge, continuing very much in the theme of airy and natural daylight throughout. Loads of different seating areas, both for kind of business and pleasure, depending on what you're doing. And loads of food selections, as you'll see now. The food appeared to be well managed. It seemed to be kind of regularly replenished, and it didn't seem as if there was lots of stuff just lying around for hours and hours. It all seemed fresh and very tasty. So yeah, really and truthfully, a pleasant lounge experience for us. Not quite as good as the Soho lounge at JFK Terminal 8, but apart from that, probably our favourite American lounge. I'll let you just have a look as you wander around, but you'll see loads of different zones, and it was a nice place to spend a couple of hours, particularly after the stresses we'd had of trying to get this flight. But like I say, this is a positive video about our experience on the day, not around the BA customer service issues. And then just as we finished the tour, we stumbled across this last little area which appears to have a bit of a fire pit in the middle of it. I almost promised myself that I need to come back at night time to pick up a flight just to see if there's any kind of real flames or visual effects on it. But other than that, kind of really impressed with this lounge, considering it's a partner lounge where I would expected loads and loads of people to be for both first class and business class. Really pleasantly surprised by the experience, the service and the attentiveness of the staff. So yeah, overall really impressed. Then it was time to leave the solitude of the lounge, head over to the gate to pick up the Boeing 777 flight home. Due to the shenanigans, we'd actually managed to pick up seats 1A and 1K. First time flying those numbers in a first class cabin, so quite happy with that. The 777's only got 2 rows of first class, so it's a really small and kind of compact cabin, but actually it makes it feel really exclusive. So this is seat 1A, loads of different cubby holes for your phones, your chargers, your cables. There's 1A just showing off a little bit there. Pyjamas on the side, all the usual kind of stuff that you get given. Nice kind of amenity kit, your headphones and various different bits and pieces. Adjusting footstool in front so you can kind of alter it to meet your particular leg needs or whatever it may be. The first class cabins I think are really quite nice now. They've kind of adapted them a little bit, incorporated more stowage. Feels a really nice suite, loads of storage areas, loads of little cubby holes. I suppose the only downfall might be just to make sure you check all of them before you finish the flight. Another benefit of flying on the 777 is the old style window blinds, as you can see here. They're phasing them out on the Dreamliners and the A350s. I think it makes a really nice touch, makes it feel a lot more kind of luxurious, so I always enjoy flying on the 777. And then what is probably the toughest decision you're going to have to make during the flight, and that's your meal choice. I won't bother reading you through each and every item in the menu, but it's there if you want to have a look at it. But needless to say, all of the food is absolutely delicious and next level when compared to other cabins within the aeroplane. And obviously you have to have a takeoff shot as you leave an iconic airport, so I'll just let this run just so you can see the takeoff out of LA and going out over the water. Then about an hour into the flight, the food service began. I won't particularly run you through each and every dish, but I'll just let the visuals go. I think I do want to give a special shout out to the cabin crew on this flight actually. Yes, we'd had a bit of a lumpy ride to get here, but they'd done their homework, they knew about it. They met us and greeted us with an apology, which I think is a really special touch, to be honest, where I kind of take my hat off to them. They'd made some mistakes throughout, and that's British Airways themselves, not the cabin crew. But they'd taken their times and apologised for the inconvenience, and I think that's really fair enough. There's not more I could really ask for. And then probably about 2 hours into the flight, it was time to get my bed down. I'm 6 foot and I can fit into the bed really quite nicely. I'm able to turn and shift around. The newer sort of updated suites have got closable doors. Again, it gives you that That probably sense of security and a bit more privacy. And then you begin the particular chores in around turning off all of the lights within your area. So you've got sort of 3 or 4 of them, so it takes a little bit of time to get around. And then when the cabin's ready, they dim the lights, and this, I'll show you this in the next shot, but it really kind of does make it easy to sleep. And that pretty much wraps up the video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe.